Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Cyber Dragon deck. Now I know a lot of people have requested this deck since all the new support was added, but I was going to do this deck for a long time. I was just sort of getting around to it. So Cyber Dragons have been around for a while, but recently they got a lot of new support that makes them a viable deck. They're basically, it's hard to say, they're like a 5-star swarming deck. They're similar to Harpies in that they retain like the card name all over. And so that allows them to do powerful fusions, powerful XYZs, just a bunch of powerful and interesting combos. And there's a lot of ways to run this deck, and I'm going to go over some of that in the side deck, but there are a lot of options. So, you can take a look at my deck, tell me what you think of it, but definitely don't get bogged down by the specific cards I use because there are so many options for this. And I'm going to be, experimenting with it down the line after I get more used to the new cards that were added. So first off, we're running 3 Cyber Dragon Core. Cyber Dragon Core searches out your cyber spells and traps, and from the graveyard, it lets you special summon, which is very, very powerful, loading the field very easily. And he also becomes Cyber Dragon, which is really, really nice, like a lot of the other cards. Cyber Dragon Drei, so this one's a beater, which is really nice, and it can also make Cyber Dragons become level 5, allowing you to do very powerful stuff right away. As long as you can protect your stuff, you can get out your XYZs very easily, and very, very nice. He also has another effect when he gets banished, which is a really, really nice thing to have. You'll see the continual use of banishing, special summoning. That's kind of a theme that goes along with the deck. And then the original Cyber Dragon, just super easy to get out as always. Just a great card overall. Quickdraw Synchron, definitely a choice that I've been thinking about using in this deck, and I've been having a lot of success with it. Basically, you just dump this card to bring it out, and you use it for an XYZ summon. We won't be using it for synchro summoning in this deck, but if you want, you can add in the Synchron synchros, and then do that if you want. That's just not the goal. The goal here is to be able to get another 5-star machine monster out very, very easily, which is nice. And then we have 2 Cyber Dragon Zwei. I know a lot of people don't like this card. It's just, been useful to me just to have another Cyber Dragon card that also has some damage along with it. But it's up to you. There's a lot of other things you could put in for it. I've seen people replace it with Card D and things like that. But it's up to you. And then 1 Cyber Eltanin, just another boss card that you kind of have access to. Again, up to you, but can be really nice for wiping the field. Honest and a light-based deck, and 1 Genex ally Birdman, giving us access to synchros very nicely because of how this deck works. Just can be very useful, especially you can use him to bring out a Catastor, which you can use for XYZ summoning as well. So it just works out overall. Really runs nicely with the deck. So for the spell, Cyber Repair Plant, just allowing you to kind of recycle things. Very, very nice that you'll be able to bring back what you need and recycle into your deck because you're searching out too, so it's nice. MST, D.D.R, we're doing a lot of banishing, so with this card we're going to have continual pressure. We can keep bringing things to the graveyard, special summon, banish more things. It just works out really well with this deck. Limiter removal in a machine-based deck, Dark Hole, Power Bond, you can run more of this if you want. We're focusing on kind of a mixed XYZ and fusion, so it's not like fully focused on fusion, but it's up to you. Like I said, there's a lot of options. Fusion Gate, again, banishing benefits us hugely for D.D.R, so Fusion Gate can be very useful. Just running 1 of this because, again, it's not our focus. 1 Overlord Fusion, also nice because we can get out Overdragon with this, which can be very useful at the right time. And 1 Foolish Burial, a lot of power from the graveyard, like I said before. For the traps, we're running 3 Cyber Network. This card takes a while to use, but at the end of it, it becomes very powerful that you can start, bringing things out from the Banish Zone. Again, that's a continual cycle with this deck, using the graveyard and the Banish Zone and all that. Now we're running 2 DNA Surgery, very powerful for this deck. Just make all your opponent's monsters machine. Bring out 1 of your Cyber Dragons and wipe the field of monsters. So very, very nice. And then just staple traps, not much to say there. For the extra deck, we're going to have a lot of different things going on. 1 Gear Gigant, just allowing us to search out. For the 5 stars, Tiras and Pleiades, 2 very powerful cards that will be useful for this deck, as well as Cyber Dragon Nova. So Cyber Dragon Nova is kind of the star card of the deck, allowing you to have insane power to banish and gain attack, and also allowing you to special summon machines from the fusion, from the extra deck. And it's very crazy all the things it can do. Don't let that 2100 attack fool you. Very, very powerful card. You can run 3 of this if you want. Currently going with 2. Running Catastor, not too hard to get that out. Black Rose, we can also get that out pretty easily, and Scrap Dragon can get that out nicely as well. Not many synchros, but the few that are very powerful that can be useful. For the fusions, with DNA Surgery and all these Cyber Dragons, Chimeratech Fortress Dragon is a must-have, so we're running 3 of it. We're also running 1 of the other Cyber Dragons, Overdragon, Cyber End Dragon, and Cyber Twin Dragon. Can be gotten out decently easily, and they're all very powerful cards. We also have 1 Barbaroid. Because of Cyber Dragon Nova's effect, you can special summon this guy, which is an insanely powerful card and a very cheap way to get it out, which makes it very useful. So now for the side deck. Again, side decks in my videos are kind of just recommended cards that can also work with this deck type. It isn't meant to be a side deck for matches. You're not supposed to be using this for siding. What I do is I just use these cards to kind of talk and just tell people what other cards they might want to consider using in this deck that can make it strong and competitive. So Proto Cyber Dragon is another choice, but I don't really like it because of its very, very low attack. Definitely could be an interesting choice though. Ghost Ship is another card that brings you 5-star special summoning, so you can do those generic ones, bring out Pleiades pretty easily. Cyber Valley, another card that goes along with the Cyber deck, and then you can do some draw power and stuff like that, which is nice. You can run this with Machinas, but that kind of makes it do too much in my opinion. Gives you access to more XYZs and more power, but again, it's just a lot trying to do that with all the other things this deck can do. Cardi, another good choice, a machine with draw power. Solar Windjammer, again like Ghost Ship, but it's also a machine, which is very useful. Cybersaurus, if you're going to run Instant Fusion, use this guy, another option to get out those XYZs. There's a ton of other XYZs you can run. You could run a ton more 4-stars if you want. I'm not focusing on 4-stars, but Exciton Knight would probably be a good choice, just because of its insane power these days. Shark Fortress, Adrius, there's a bunch of other good 5-stars, Zenmeo. There's other good 5-stars, so definitely that's a choice. Again, if you run more dark monsters, you can always run like a light and dark hybrid with Chaos, but again, that's getting into way too much for this deck. You can run Iron Call to bring out some of those lower level machines. You could run Machine Duplication. I've seen this run a lot. You can spam it with Core, and that could be interesting for loading your graveyard and stuff like that. Forbidden Lance could be good for protecting your monsters, because you're focusing on these very powerful, higher leveled monsters as well. And as I was saying before, you can run Instant Fusion and Cybersaurus, which is a great combo. I know there's a few of my decks that I've used that with that are very nice, like Karakuri and stuff. Always a great combo and a great choice for this. I've seen some people talk about Malevolent Catastrophe because of how Cyber Network works. That you won't have to skip your battle phase. So that's an interesting thing I've heard about. Not sure about that, especially with artifacts coming. And also Trap Stun if you want to really overpower your opponent. You know, Cyber Dragons have like OTKs and stuff like that, so Trap Stun can be very useful for trying to get those out. So it's up to you. But that's my Cyber Dragon deck. Definitely very fun to play. Has a lot of potential. I'm still messing around with this deck, seeing all the different options it can do, but I've been able to do a lot of really powerful plays with this, having a ton of fun with it as well, and I'm really happy with the new support that was added. But if you guys have your own Cyber Dragon decks, you can post below, let me know in the comments, talk about what cards you use and that kind of thing. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.